broken, but you have to learn how to fail.
Everybody wants to be a beast. Everybody wants to succeed.
Because I'm going to explain this to you. I had big dreams. A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're going to have a lot of bad days, a lot of setbacks. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you.
The challenge becomes that most of us, when it's time to do what beasts do, we don't do it.
Anybody can go to the gym when they feel like going to the gym. Anybody could show up to work and give 100% when they feel good about what they're working on. But what makes successful people successful is what they do when they don't feel like it.
I find it amazing how a cat can say they want something. A cat can say, man, I'm all in with you, let's ride. And then conditions and circumstance change. And the words that they once spoke means nothing to them. Like commitment is staying true to what you said you was true to long after the mood that you set it in has left. Meaning on the days when we don't feel like doing what we once said we was going to do, we going to step up and we going to do it anyway because those are the days that build character.
All our dreams and visions come with expiration dates etched in invisible ink. Windows of opportunity can and do close. Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Once you put away your phones and your computers and all that we have nowadays, yeah, it's great. We're up to date. But your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through death, real life. You can't Google that, man. You're alone. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to. You may have a best friend you're going to. But there's 24 hours in the day where you're alone in this brain. And your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways. And it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over.
Get over your feelings, because feelings go up and down. For some of you, you're too seasonal. When you're excited, the first week, the first month, the first 3 months when you got that job, you were excited, and so you was putting forth effort. You were there on time. You was leaving late. You was doing everything they told you. Now you got comfortable, and you're not excited no more. And guess what happened? Your effort has gone down.
So it is imperative that we do not waste time on both. None of us have any clue what's coming for us or when our time might run out, which is why I do my best to ignore anything that is counterproductive. I'm not suggesting we act like robots, but we need to understand that forward motion gives our lives momentum.
Your problem is you know what your best is, but you can't produce it consistently. You're your biggest problem. Everything is external that moves you. Now I want you to start moving yourself internally. I want you to be able to push your buttons. You control your feelings. Don't nobody else control your feelings. So when you tell me I ain't feeling it no more, it don't got nothing to do with something external. It's something internal that you ain't pushing no more. You don't have to be excited. You made a commitment to that job, and commitment said, I don't care how I feel. I don't care if I'm excited. I don't care if I'm pumped up. I don't care if I'm fired up. I'm doing this because I made a commitment. Now it's time to put up.
What existed for me was, okay, man, how am I going to make this work? And all I knew back then was hard work. The only way anything gets accomplished. That's all I heard back in those days. You got to work hard. You got to work hard. I'm not getting I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember what the f***'s in this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read again. Still not getting it. Read it again. But if you're not getting it, write it out. And that's how I started learning. Okay, well, I got to write out everything I do. And then write it out again. And write it out again. And guess what happened? I got it.
It's easier to watch greatness. It's easier to go see greatness than it is to put in the time, to put in the energy, to discipline yourself, to sacrifice. It's easier. And so that's why you average. That's why you don't want to wake up in the morning. That's why you pissed off with Monday, because Monday is the day that you're supposed to go mold and shape and create your greatness. That's why you like Friday. I get it. Because Friday you get to chill. You don't have to face yourself on Friday. You don't have to face yourself on Saturday Saturday or on Sunday. That's the day that everybody is partying, everybody's drunk, everybody gets to forget that they didn't become who they were supposed to come during the week. That's why. But I challenge you. I challenge you to go from average. I challenge you to go from good. I challenge you to go from great. And I challenge you to be phenomenal.
Not getting civilized is about having a savage mentality. Civilized is something where people, it's a comfortable world. I was the baddest person to ever live. It doesn't go away, man. You gotta wake up, even though you retired, you never retired. You're setting the example every single day of your life. And being civilized feels so good. I'm sorry, man. Once you get to the top, you may retire, but you ain't never coming back home, man, because now you're judged. People see you falling off. You want to be that guy who knows I may be retired from the sport or from whatever I did, but I'll be damned if you ever see me looking like shit, feeling like shit, not arriving. People, I've arrived mentality. You're always setting the example. Civilization feels so good.
I can't make you stop hitting the snooze button. I can't make you wake up. But I dare you, I double dare you. The next time you get up in the morning, I dare you not to go back to sleep. I dare you to get up and I dare you to chase your dreams. Because beast mode makes more money than average does. We're not gonna wait. We're gonna do work. We're gonna put in work. Because every time you put in work, you get the same consequences. You get paid. You get rewarded.
Your mind wants to go to a nice spot where you're comforted, where it's easy. It doesn't want to think. You have all these things in the mind, and the mind can only absorb so much. So all the pain that has to go to, it wants to push it away, so let's not do that. So every day I'm fighting where the mind wants to go. I've never arrived. You have to live that way. You need to be in a spot that's hungry. Work out every day. Better yourself every day. Suffer. Go back to a spot that's not so comfortable for you. What did you do today to get uncomfortable? What did you do today? I don't give a fuck what you did 20 years ago. If you can get through these different barriers and gain 2%, 3%, 5%, that 40% becomes 60. That 60% becomes 70, and 80, and 90. And then you'll hopefully one day near 100.
You got to come out your comfort zone because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be. If you don't grow, you're dying. If you do not expand your business, expand your life, expand your mind, if you don't push to grow, you're dying. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. You should double your business, triple it, because the attempt to get more makes you into something better. If you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it. And until you come out your comfort zone, you will never touch a certain level of greatness. If you stay stuck in your comfort zone will keep you living a mediocre life. You want to touch fine things in life? Leave your comfort zone. You're going to be intentional. You're going to be deliberate. You're going to be strategic. That means that there's not a day that's going to go by. There's not an hour that's going to go by. There's not a minute that's not going to go by that is not accounted for. I'm not talking about putting forth effort because your coach told you to. I'm not talking about doing your homework or coming to class on time and sitting up front and giving 120% in the class for your teacher. No. I'm not talking about your boss. We're not talking about outside no more. Now we're talking about an inside job. I'm talking about putting forth effort for self-pride, self-respect. I'm talking about doing it for you. I'm talking about at the end of the day, you being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of myself. You do it for you. You need to be able to step back and look at your work and say, it is good. You want to feel good about yourself because you put forth every single fiber, every single effort that you have, you putting it forth. Some people, you just, y'all start losing and you just stop playing. You just like, I give up, I quit, we already lost. And so you let it go. And you settle for the status quo. You settle for the easy road. You settle for, oh well.
But here's the thing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
Greatness is a lot of small things done well. Day after day, workout after workout, obedience after obedience, day after day. You think you're just gonna change the game, you're just gonna change the rules. It don't work like that. There's a standard to greatness and there's levels to this.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
And some of you right now, you are where you are, you're giving 60% when you have 120 in you. There are those of you with a big dream but a little grind. I need you to pick your grind up. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream. But your grind does not affect your dream. And I need you to wake up every single day and I need you to use your 24 hours like you've never used it before. You gotta get tired of losing. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you got to push your grind up to match your dream. You still fighting people. You still cussing folk out. You still laying hands on people. That's the easy fight. Now fight your bad habits. Fight your addictions now. Fight your laziness. Fight your procrastination. Take that energy now and fight to get a degree. Fight to start a company. Fight. Use that energy for something positive. And so while you talking about your haters, it ain't your haters that's stopping you. It's you that's stopping you. You got to go get it. It might take you more than 6 months. It might take you more than a year. It might take you more than 2 years. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care the sacrifice. You put in too many hours. You made too many phone calls. You put in too much money. You've invested too much time to quit now. You've given too much. You should have quit last year. You should have quit 2 years ago. You've come too far to give up. The only thing you can do right now is go all in. You got to create the type of scenario that if it doesn't work, you lose everything. And because you cannot lose everything, you got to make it happen.
Put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skill. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before. Through the inspiration of desperation, you'll become more creative than ever before.
If you want to take the fucking island, burn your fucking boats, and you will take the island, because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed. You can't have that life until you're willing to put in that work. I need you to hustle until you no longer have to introduce yourself. I need you to work this business so hard that you don't have to convince anybody. I need you to work this business so hard that they begging you to get in. They begging to get on your team. They're begging to go on the road. I need you to hustle so hard. I need you to go in so hard that people start calling you and you don't have to call them.
You owe it to yourself to give it your best effort. If you get in the habit of being mediocre or doing just enough to get by, you're not hurting anybody but you. You're cheating you.
But you're giving 50% and you said it's not working. You're giving 60% and you said it's not working.
Weak people who lose, they have that happen to them and they say, well, I tried, I did my best, it was this guy's fault, it was my boss's fault, and they make all these excuses. And winners do not do that at all. They get punched in the face, they sit down for a second and they say, F that, and they get back up and they keep going. I choose to perceive the difficult days as a test that has showed up to reinforce the belief that I have in myself, to reinforce what I know about myself. And if we all approach the difficult times like that and we continue to push through, our confidence will go up tremendously.
Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, your life is worth it.
It's time for you to unleash the beast. It's time for you to go inside and unleash that fire, unleash that purpose, unleash your passion. You got to make a commitment that you'll never ever give 60%. You'll never ever give 70%. From this day forward, you give it 120%.
120%. That's my standard of excellence, my standard of greatness. 120 is being better and bigger and bolder, going further and faster, setting goals and shattering goals. 120 is giving my all. 120 to the day I die.
For some of you, your problem is there's some stuff you don't want to give up to go up. There are certain things you cannot get. There's certain levels you can't go to. There's certain things you can't be. When you're not committed and when you don't feel like doing it, guess what happened? You don't do it.
What's in your head is the voice of weakness and laziness, saying you don't need to go hard, saying you can take the day off. You got another voice in your head that's asking you a question. It's asking you, what could you be? What could you be if you worked as hard as you could? What could you be if you imposed real discipline in your life? What could you be?
It's that demon voice that whispers in your ear that says, get up, motherfucker. You're not good enough. You gotta work harder. You haven't put enough time in. We don't like that feeling. We don't like that challenge. We like that person who says, hey, it's okay, brother. We'll take a day off. Maybe get a pizza and watch the game. We like that. We love that feeling. Why? Because you understand, man, we're good, bro. That's the mediocrity of life. We don't want that motherfuckers like this. Hey, man, no, bro. Get your shit on, man. Stop being a punk. We don't want that in our lives. We don't want that person who's constantly challenging our weaknesses. It's that voice you don't want to hear. But guess what? It's that voice you need to listen to.
I don't know where you're going to end up if you implement discipline into your life, if you start lining up tasks and smashing them, if you start aggressively pursuing your goals. I don't know where it's going to end up, but you know what? I got an idea. Let's find out. Let's find out where it ends up. Let's find out where it goes when you implement discipline in your life and you start getting after it.
I'm talking about being self-regulated. Well, you don't need nobody to wake you up in the morning. You don't need no alarm clock. You don't need a teacher telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing.
You need to fucking work harder. You need to fucking discipline your mind better. And so many people just want it the easy way. We put a governor on our brain. Second, we feel pain, discomfort, suffering. We slow down. We stop.
You want a badass life? Then we gotta have hardcore rules. No weakness. Everybody has 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts going through their mind a day. Now, the thoughts y'all fucking had yesterday, do you think those same thoughts are gonna come today? Yes. You know why? Because if nothing fucking changes, nothing fucking changes. You wanna know why your mindset's not changing? You wanna know why your beliefs not changing? Because you have the same fucking record playing in your fucking head every day about how today's gonna go.
Every day when you wake up, you got two options. You can look at the clock and hit the snooze. You can look at that snooze button, boom. You can hit the snooze button and go back to bed and dream about what you want to have. Right there with your comfortable pillow, you dreaming about what you want to be. Or you can look at that snooze button, kick that clock and get up and go pursue your dreams. And when you embrace the grind will reward you.
Whatever you put into something's whatever you get out of it. But some of you think something gets better by bitching and whining and complaining and feeling like a little victim. You could have been that guy that had the six-pack, the badass car, all the money in the bank. All you needed was that discipline to lock it in. So as I'm talking to you, you can make excuses or you can own all this
But if you ain't working for it like that, it don't mean that. You don't really want it. You gotta work. People say, man, how did you get so big? Because I knew my goal. I knew what I wanted to be. I ruled my body. I run my body. I tell my body what it wants to eat. I work out even when I don't feel like it. I work out because it's not what I do. It's who I am. So if you want to be successful, you got to rule yourself.
You have to make a list of the things that you don't like to do. If you don't like making calls, the very first thing you should do, call a lot. Guess what happens? You get over it. You have to triple down on your weaknesses and make that become where you start to guide yourself. Okay, I don't like calling. Today I'm making 100 calls. I'm going to dial 100 times. And when you do that, that's where you grow. It sucks, but you have to continue to fight and move on. Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes. And every day you wake up, it sucks. And when it's over, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. And as you get going, every step you take in that journey, you're beating the demon again.
Well, what do you do on the days that you don't feel like? Every day I feel like. Every day I feel like eating. Every day I feel like giving my wife the best life. Every single day of my life, I feel like giving 120. Every single day. It's because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. I've been getting up so early for so long. I've dominated my sleep pattern. I've dominated my laziness. I've dominated procrastination. That when I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, my body just click at 3 o'clock in the morning. Discipline. Discipline is you do it so long and so hard and you're so passionate passionate about it that even when you don't feel like it, you still operate at the highest level. No more 50%. No more 70%. No more. I want you at 85 and climbing. And I mean moving rapidly. And I know if you guys operate off 120 with the spirit that you have, it's going to be on a whole nother level.
Right now, we have the most valuable asset on earth on our side, time, but it's running out. And right now, you guys are sitting there. And to make that first step towards greatness is the hardest step. But there is one thing harder than that, my friends. It's later in life. As you look back on your life, the windows of opportunity has closed. Your ability is no longer present. And you think back that you could have been great. Right now, you had the ability to never have that debate inside your head. That's the debate you can never win. Now, all that's left is you in a self-arrest, self-paralysis state, thinking, wow, I could have done something with my life. Now I'm stuck in this hole of life I'm in. And you're in here hurting, man. And you're wondering, how do you go on? Better question is, how can you not go on?
You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. It's in your mind right now, but you don't feel like doing it. You don't feel like getting up. You don't feel like doing the work. You don't feel like working hard. And if you don't feel like working hard, if you don't feel like getting up, then you better feel like losing. You better feel like getting weaker, because that's what's going to happen if you don't do what you're supposed to do. And people say, like, what do you tell yourself? I don't tell myself anything. I'm not allowed to talk.
I'm not trying to convince myself. I'm not trying to negotiate with myself. I'm not debating what I should do. I am executing the plan. You shouldn't have to figure out how to explain to yourself what you need to do. You should just go make things happen. You should just go execute.
Be the guy who executes on your goals every day. Don't be like every motherfucker that you know who's going to tell you a bunch of bullshit this year and be the same motherfucker 12 months from now that they are today. Be what it is you claim to be about. Be what it is you truly want to be. If you truly want to be successful, if you truly want to change your life, be about it today. And then when today's over, be about it tomorrow. And when you do that, winning becomes not something that you aspire to do. Winning becomes who the f*** you are.
Most people act slow, think slow, don't write down, they don't move quick. If I have an imagination, if I have a vision, but I don't execute, no one will know my name.
Time is running out on you, and you're too slow. You're too casual. You think too much. The separator is going to be who takes massive action quickly. What I learned about the greats is that they understand it's a sense of urgency that once the clock goes out, it's a W or an L. You either win or you lose. And so you got to pick up the pace. You walking too slow, pick up the pace. You moving too slow, pick up the pace. You don't have a lot of time. You only got 24 hours. So all of your energy needs to go into your goals. Become decisive. Become driven. Become ambitious. Be competitive. Go get it.
Driven people destroy everything that gets in their way. Let me explain what driven means. How you wake up when the sun don't shine. How you wake up when you just lost your best customer. Don't care. I ain't going down. I'm staying high. At the end of the losers quitting, that's where you'll find the winners. You want to know where the winners are? The millionaires? They're just playing where the quitters left.
The reason I'm successful is because I execute whether I have the fire or whether I don't have the fire. You have the fucking choice to be whatever you want to be. You can choose to have discipline. You can choose to invest in personal development. You can choose how to spend your nights and weekends. You can choose who you surround yourself with. You can choose to go the extra mile for others. You can choose to persevere. You can choose to take pride in every fucking detail. You can choose to be enthusiastic. You can choose to take initiative and do what needs to be done. You can choose to accept responsibility for yourself, your situation, and every situation around you. You can choose to be a lifetime student of success. You can choose to execute day in and day out. You can choose to not cut corners. You can choose to do the fucking work. And you can choose success. Your actions make that choice for you every single day. So what's it gonna be?
There's a difference between a dude who know how to shoot and a sniper. Dude know how to shoot. They might shoot up the whole place and kill 3 people. They done wasted all kind of bullets, all kind of energy. The sniper on the roof, one spot, 3 days. Don't use the restroom, don't eat. And at the right time, boom. Sniper don't use the bathroom, he don't move from that spot because he might miss an opportunity. You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're not staying long enough to make something happen. You're not there long enough. You're not studying long enough. You didn't read the whole book and got what? I'd rather for you to read one page 100 times than read 100 pages once. You can't get nothing from reading 100 pages one time. I'd rather for you to read one page 100 times, and I mean consume it. In your life right now, the reason why you're not successful, you're all over the place. You just taking an axe and just swinging it. And you wondering why you're not getting the results you want. Because what real students do is sharpen the axe first, and then they don't just hit the tree 1,000 times. They hit the tree 1,000 times where? In the same spot. You hitting it all over the place. You need to be intentional. You need to be deliberate about your thinking. I need you to think about what you're thinking about. Because where your focus goes, your energy flows. You concentrate on winning. You concentrate on dominating. Nothing needs to change but your mindset. I don't need knowledge. I need specific knowledge. Stop thinking you deep because you reading and you studying. No, you need explicit knowledge.
Stay focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. Clarity is power. The more clear you are on specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there.
True winners, they never lose focus. They always focus on the goal. They always focus on the process, and they always focus on being the absolute best that they can.
The reason why you stop and start, and you stop and you start, is because the goal is not meaningful enough. Who are you doing this for? That person that you think about has to be louder than the snooze button. So when you think about Granny, you gotta think about, do I hit the snooze button or do I get up and make it happen for Granny? It's not just about you. When you finally go after the stuff that you were afraid to go after, that's the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about going after the stuff that scares you. What are you going after? Or better yet, why aren't you going after it? All I need you to do is declare that yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short.
You do the work now, and all of the shit that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere.
I made a decision, Pat, I truly want to find out what you're capable of if you're fully focused. Anytime in my entire life, I've been 100% focused, I've always won. Anytime. You have as well, by the way. So if you think about yourself, go back at any time in your lifetime, you've been focused for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, guaranteed you've won because it's a formula. And I knew most people weren't going to do it. I knew most people would get discouraged. I knew most people would get distracted. I knew most people were going to say, I have family issues, health issues, market issues, this isn't for me, it's not my passion. It's all this stuff that they make up because they simply don't want to do the work because they're frightened of the work. Now you don't have to be that.
Most people half-ass half their life all the time. I knew they were going to get tired. They were going to flinch. They were going to get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. They spend all their damn money. I'm not going to do that stuff. I'm going to save money. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to stay relentless.
I don't alter my mission ahead. No one fucks with me because I don't allow them to. It's got to be that way. It's got to be unconditionally focused. I don't care about the party. I don't care about TV. I don't care about any of this stuff. 100% focused. I am not going to get distracted. And every day you try to master, you have to be the best you can be.
Practice only makes improvement. Perfection doesn't exist. You can always better your best. You have not done your best work yet. Long as you're here, you have a chance to transcend yourself. Meditate on this stuff. Focus on this stuff. It don't mean negative things won't happen, but we're not focusing on it. We're going to focus on what's positive. We're going to focus on what's good. And when we focus on that, that's where our energy is going to go. I need you to take ownership of your thoughts.
Own your life, guys. You have every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest motherfucking worker in the room.
And I guarantee if you put the right energy, the right effort, the right focus, it's only a matter of time.
Download this video and audio by becoming a member at benlionelscott.com. Plus, get early access to all new content and hundreds of exclusive videos.
These comfortable feelings are what people want. They want retirement. They want that. They need that. It's a yearning feeling. I want it too. People love putting a label on me about, my God, man, you're just wired different. I'm not fucking wired different, dude. I'm thinking right now, after I got past my stuttering thing, now I'm on a roll, I'm good now. You know what I'm thinking about right now? I gotta fucking wake up tomorrow and do the same shit again. I gotta leave this fucking interview and go stretch out for 2.5 hours. I hate that shit. But guess what it does though? I'm constantly callousing over my victim's mentality that I once had growing up. Every day you have to do this shit. Because why? When you stop doing it, you don't just maintain it. If you stop shooting a gun, you're not gonna be a great shot if you pick a gun up a year from now. The only way to keep from getting rusty is to constantly oil that motherfucking machine. The machine is this. You gotta keep challenging it every day. I realized that I'm going to be somebody and I'm searching for a feeling of true victory for myself and only myself. The second I shut out the whole world and realize that one thing, that I am in this world alone. I'm fighting this race by myself. Yeah, I'm all about people, I'm all about team, I'm all about that shit. But I'm really all about right now and in my life, just like you said, no one knows the real truth about me, how hard I really go. I don't care if anybody knows. I don't want anybody to know. I'm an introvert. I live an introverted life. And I love that about me. That right there is my fuel. Is I know that there's really no one out there grinding like me. And if they are, so be it. If I know about you, I'll make sure that I up my game. That's what the mentality is all about. My whole thing is a mentality thing. Like I told you the last time I was on the show, I viewed myself as the weakest person on the planet Earth. My goal in life was to, in my mind, believe I'm the hardest man alive. And that's why the whole thing is can't hurt me. That's what it's about. It's about whatever you think you are, you have to make that dream a reality. But that's where the hard part is making that dream reality. That's where the hard work comes. That's where people know, how do you keep grinding every day? You have to make those insecurities, those fears. Like when I was 300 pounds, I didn't have any drive. I'm gonna go be a Navy SEAL. What kind of stupid shit is that, 300 pounds? It wasn't like a drive to go be a Navy SEAL. I was an insecure, lying kid, afraid. I had to look at my insecurities and in my fear and find drive in that. We're all looking for passion. Passion is all around you. You have a whole fucking stack of it all around you. It's your insecurities, all that shit. You gotta dive deep in that shit. It's all in there. All the energy and fuel you need is right in yourself. It's all there. You got a lot of stuff to do to overcome. And that's where I found it. I found it right there in my own insecurities. I found drive in my own insecurities. And that's the most powerful thing in the world. When you can find drive in your own doubt, fear, insecurities, you become very unstoppable. It's the truth. I got it. I can't swim. I'm negative buoyant. Go back again. I can't swim. Go back again. Go back again. Go back again. I got it. I realize if I keep going back and going back and going back until the just becomes, your mind will say, okay, we're going to figure it out, because he is not going to stop. It's not like I'm going to try one more time. No, it's just like alarm clock goes off, boop, we're going back. I can't read right, we're going back. I gave myself no way out, and my mind realized that. They said, okay, we're going to adapt and overcome now. Like a lot of people say, trying hard. Your mind knows, man. It knows this guy's bull. Man, this guy's lying. There's no truth behind it. When I was in Navy SEAL training, people go, how were you there for 18 months? The program was only 6 months long. You were in 3 hell weeks in 1 year. No one's ever done that. How did you do that? I talk about the new norm. When I lived in a $7 a month place when I was growing up for a short period of time, I loved it. I didn't know any different. That was my norm. Once we moved out of that place, we moved to a $236 a month place. I was like, I never want to go back to that little piece of shit. But if you go back to that $7 a month place and you realize this is where I live, this is all I got, your mind says, Roger that, this is home. So when I was going to Navy SEAL training for 18 months, and going back through all the hard parts over and over again. I told myself after the first time, I knew it was gonna be a long journey there. My body was breaking down. It was just how it was going on. I said, you know what? This is my new norm. So my mind said, it's like going to work. Like you go to work, you put your suit and tie on. I go into suffering every day. Every day suffering, being broken, duct taping my feet up, stress fractures, shin splints, being broken. This is my new norm. And your mind says, if we're not broken, this ain't normal. We gotta be broken. So then your mind starts to get tougher and tougher and more callous. People, how'd you run on broken feet? Broken shins. My mind knew this is how we operate. We're in Navy SEAL training. This is what we are. I became hell. And that became my new norm. I gave myself no way out. There was nothing outside these walls of hell. Nothing. I love God, but for a short period of time, I became the devil because that was hell. I became the boss, the owner, the CEO of Navy SEAL training. That was my mindset. And that's how you get through things. You immerse yourself in wherever it is, and you become that. You become that and give yourself no way out. It gives you this charge of energy of when you're sitting there at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and you're duct taping your feet up because they're broken and you're doing it by yourself and you're going through arguably one of the hardest training in the world. And these guys, most of them are healthy and you're going through it broken and you're already at a disadvantage, but you're still there. You can feed into that and tap into that for a lot of power. But if you look at it, well, I'm broken, man. Like, I'm not gonna make it. But if you look at it as, man, I'm broken and I'm still here. And I'm fighting and I'm gonna find a way to get through this because I have no other place to go. It gives you a lot of power. When things start to suck really, really bad, my brain and a lot of people's brain, they don't go to your dad beating you up. Your brain says, we gotta get out of here. This is miserable. So anger goes away a lot of times when you're suffering because your brain just says, we gotta run, we gotta go. So that anger is not popping up saying, oh, I'm gonna show them, I'm gonna show those people. No, there has to be a much deeper. When I say deeper, it has to be down to mineral soil. It has to be down to that nice mineral soil where nothing can burn. You can't burn dirt. So it has to be down that low, that literally is something in you that's at the core of your soul. But you don't find it unless you spend a lot of time with what you want to be in life. I can't give that to you. Right. You can't give it to somebody. When you find your true passion in life, and my passion for me was like, oh, I want to be, I don't give Navy SEALs, Army, I don't give a shit. I want to serve my country. I want to be someone that I'm proud of. I want to look at myself in the mirror because I was so disappointed. That accountability mirror I talk about, I was so disappointed in what I saw every day. I wanted everybody to love David Goggins. And a lot of people did. I didn't love myself. But I knew a lot of us want to find peace first. So people say, man, you always talk about this suffering and pain and I'm at peace right now because I went through that. Right? You don't find peace first. If you do, Merry Christmas. More power to you. More power to you. I found peace on the opposite end of finding myself. And no one really finds themselves without going through trials, tribulations, suffering, accountability. And accountability is suffering. Being accountable every day for doing right for yourself, for the people next to you, it's miserable. It's hard.